When you face a massive problem, sometimes you need a heavy-duty solution. And this old bulldozer has been a key to transforming a rundown property in Northland. Nowadays, this farm, owned by a Swiss immigrant couple in the Hokianga, is a haven of bush and bird life. But it's taken nearly 30 years of work to achieve. It's steep country strewn with massive rocks. When they bought it, it was choked with weeds, and there were plenty of raised eyebrows.
The locals then said to us, "Are you fellas crazy? Why did you buy this land? Nobody buys land like that."
In their relentless struggle against a myriad of weeds and pests, they've always had a vision.
It's for our grandchildren, for future generations. We should preserve places like these.
It's time for these cattle at Wairere in Northland to move to new pasture. Most farmers would bring out their dogs, but Felix and Rita Shard have their own style. Yodeling and human barking.
Come on, boys.
Yodeling was an ancient form of communication used by Swiss cowherders calling out across mountain peaks.
Come here.
When Felix and Rita exchanged their European lifestyle for a farm in the Hokianga, the steep landscape reminded them of their Swiss roots and the echo of yodels in the high Alps.
In Switzerland, you know, we sang all the time. So you just do it. Well, it's like you walk on the land, and yeah, you go and walk over a rock like that. It's almost a dance.
Good boys, well done.
So what's this barking business about?
It'd
be better to have a dog, wouldn't it?
No, I'm better than a dog. You see, our dog died about 4 or 5 months ago. And then we thought, yeah, okay, we don't really want a dog anymore. And when he got older and older, he begged me, no, please, no cattle. He was too old to herd cattle. So I started to bark myself, and I realized, well, that works as good as a dog, you know. So when he actually died, we decided we don't want the dog anymore because Rita can yodel and I can bark, and that will do. And you see, it works perfectly. Why should we have a dog?
Did the neighbours think you were a little bit mad?
Well, a little bit is maybe not exaggerated, maybe totally mad. You know?
Felix and Rita raise about 60 steers, so the cattle alone have never been enough to make a living on their farm, which is half pasture and half bush. The couple try to be as self-sufficient as possible, growing their own fruit and vegetables. In 1988, they moved their first house onto the land. Till then, they lived with their daughter in a caravan and a bus. No road, telephone, electricity or running water.
And once a week we had a bath, and we had to light the wooden fire and heat it up, and the pony and the cow were using the same bathtub as drinking trough, and we often had it at night or in the evenings, and the cow came and sniffed on the bath and smeared the face, the soap, you know, they weren't used to soapy water. So it was hilarious, you know, having these two animals, the horse and the cow, staring at you in the bathtub. We just loved it.
We made all the cheese and butter. I milked my cows. Oh, it was great. I liked it. Honey, we had the garden, and it was real good. But it's a lot of work, so you have always to decide, what do I want to do?
So they buy their milk nowadays and enjoy most of the modern conveniences, although they've never regarded their new lifestyle in New Zealand as a hardship. Felix, a civil engineer, was glad to leave his professional life and settle here in 1983.
I was too much engaged in work in Switzerland, and I was drowning in my job, you know, and I just wanted to get out of this, and here it's so relaxed, it's so pleasurable, and you're out in the nature, I'm outside.
It didn't look like this, I gather, the property when you came.
No, it was, well, we liked it, but we were such greenhorns, didn't understand a thing. We just loved that yellow gorse.
In the beginning, we didn't even know what weeds are. We just loved them. These lovely thistles. Look, the flower of the thistle. It's so beautiful.
I made tea of it. It's very good for your liver, the thistles tea. I drank them in Switzerland as well. I thought, oh, plenty of them here. I can make heaps of tea for our livers, you know.
Crafting wool is another link to Rita's roots. The cheerful, warm socks are knitted for friends and never sold. Rita also makes something seldom seen in New Zealand. Rita, tell me about these wrist warmers.
They are fantastic. It's an old, ancient Swiss tradition. It keeps your hands really warm. You don't have to wear all that many clothes as long as you have got the wrist warmers. You feel really good, even in the snow. They're just fantastic.
Okay, let's see the water.
When they arrived, Felix bought a bulldozer that was almost ready for the scrap heap and restored it.
We have cleared all the land around us, you know. What we could do, which wasn't too steep. What was too steep, I did with the scrap cutter and the chainsaw. But it has done a lot of work, about 15 kilometers of fence line I bulldozed. I've done all the ponds, you know, and the tracks on the farm, our road up to the house. And now it's a little bit redundant.
It may be 40 years old and nearly redundant, but sometimes Felix still takes his bulldozer high on the steep hillsides to reform roads and tidy things up. He shows a breathtaking courage and skill at earth moving. It's clear that Felix and his cat were made for each other.
I rebuilt the whole machine. It was all in bits. I put in new bearings, new seals, new gaskets, new piston rings. Everything is rebuilt on this machine. It's running really, really well. Somebody came here, a keen caterpillar collector, you know, and he saw the machine and he said, "Wow, can I buy your machine for my museum?" I thought, he's totally nuts. He doesn't know how good that machine is, you know. First turn, it starts like vroom and is very reliable, so I never would give it away for a museum.
After the bulldozer, goats became the most powerful weapon for fighting weeds on their property. They're known as a destructive pest for native vegetation, but the shards tell a different story. Goats cleaned up the land so well for them that they can now share their surroundings with tourists.